the more you learn about money and government control of money, you realize that that is the whole game. Everything else flows from that. Every evil thing that government does is only because they control the money supply. Like, take an evil thing that government does,
Yeah.
and I'll explain how it's because they control the money supply, you know? Like, I mean, just think about, like, okay, we fought like a catastrophic 20-year war in Afghanistan that literally killed hundreds of thousands of people, cost trillions of dollars, and thousands of our bravest young boys died, and then tens of thousands committed suicide in the wake of the war, right? Well, just like imagine if they couldn't print the money for that war. Imagine if they had to tax the American people every month for the war in Afghanistan. You think that thing would have lasted 20 years?
No way.
And this guy here is a comedian. He's dropping gems for you guys. He's telling you that everything that government controls is because of the control of the money. When you have an option, you can opt out of the system and you don't have to be a part anymore. Be your own bank, have your own self-sovereignty, buy Bitcoin. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with another jam-packed video, so make sure you watch this one to the end. We're dropping some alpha for you. Before we get to any of that, make sure you go ahead and check us out at www.bitcoinbros101.com. Once again, we got our learning for you, our social links. If you want to become part of the premium Patreon pass, you can get that right here. If you want some ebooks, you're just getting started with crypto, this is the place you got to be. Getting started with Bitcoin and Crypto's Ultimate Beginner's Guide, only $15.99, instant download. You can get kicked off on your crypto journey today. If you want to get into the charts and see what's going on and be a little bit better on the technical analysis, we have this book for you too, Technical Analysis 101, instant download. Get your copies today. The current time of this recording, Bitcoin is coming in at 67.3K. So what do we see? What do we anticipate? Let's look back into the charts to see why we are extremely bullish on Bitcoin today. What makes this different? Well, look, when Bitcoin came up, we came up and hit our head. Let's get rid of these drawings. Let's remove all our drawings. Let's clean the charts up for you. We got a lot going on there. We'll keep the bull market support band. That's important. And we keep our moving averages. But if we see this trend line, the trend's your friend to the end. Here's a trend line here. Look at this trend line. This trend line is something you have to pay attention to. And it could be a little bit lower, about right there. But anyways, so we came up back in March of this year and hit our head up to that $73,000, $74,000 threshold. And then we came back down below the 20 moving average. And people were like, oh, okay, we got to reset a little bit. Right here, we've seen this pullback here. And then right here, you've seen this divergence. This divergence tells you a lot. When this RSI put in a high and then a lower high, but the price put in a higher high, you could have exited the market. You had to be patient to get this downtrend though. The trend took some time to play out, but we hit our head. People thought, oh, we're just cooling off. We're going to go right up to 100,000. Not the case. We come up and hit our head once again and fall back down and retest the bull market support band. Now people were like, okay, now we're going to go up to 100,000 because we just had to retest the bull market support band. Everything reset. Everything looks good. We're good to go. Well, look what happened. We hit our head not once, twice, put that M pattern, that McDonald's M pattern, have it your way, and we fell down and put a low. And guess what? This is when people got fearful. Even though this was an optimal buying opportunity right here at 54,000. Then we had a bounce, hit our head once again, and then put in a lower low with this low here. This is when people said, oh, bull market's over. You know, it was fun while it lasts. We're not seeing 100K. We'll see you in 4 years. Not quite. We are just getting started because look what happened. Bitcoin came back up and retested the upper bound of the bull market support band and then came down and put in a higher low. And right here was where people had to start paying attention because they put in a higher low and the RSI actually put in a higher low as well. So this could be indicative of the trend changing. Then we put in a higher high from this previous high to this previous high. Now the trend is changing, potentially. We have to hold this low right here, this low all the way down to 53,000. So will we come back down to the mid 50s? Potentially, but look what happened. Bitcoin came back down and wicked back to 58.9, double bottomed out, and look what happened. We came back up. But zooming into this price action, why are we extremely bullish? We got through this downwards resistance that we hit our head 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Seventh time is a charm. And we got through that. And then look what happened. We came back down and retested, flipped resistance to support, and almost came back down and kissed the 20 moving average. So now look at the price action. We just flipped resistance to support. The 20 moving average is crossed over all the other moving averages. We came back and back tested that. These are starting to curl up, and we are now sitting above support. And the trend is your friend until the end. Peter Brandt is saying similar things than we are. He's saying 7 months inverted expanding triangle. We just showed you that. Putting in higher lows and lower lows from March of 2024 has not yet been validated. He's showing you this red line, this trend that's being respected. He's showing you about 150,000 for this bull market peak. And then Phil B's weighing in for Microstrategy. So if Bitcoin goes up to 150,000, so he has these targets here, but look at these premiums. These premiums span from where we currently are right now, around 200 bucks, all the way down to $1,700, depending on how that gamma squeeze occurs with MicroStrategy. Well, we got some OGs talking about this. Shout out to Anders, and then shout out to Quant Bros. They've been putting out some alpha on MicroStrategy. Let's hear the latest from them.
The volatility really is the product of MicroStrategy, right? And it's really the only thing that I can think of that solves a problem for so many different type of financial players. And this was something I really had to think about and learn more about, 6 or 7 months ago. Because I'd be on the phone with people talking about these convertible bonds, and it's like, well, why don't people just buy the stock? But it's like, well, some funds or some firms are set up to only do convertible debt deals. So between that, which is you really only have MicroStrategy pulling that lever hard. I was very disappointed over the years that Tesla did not keep doing that, because I think that would have been just the ultimate hedge to have this, imagine they had 20 or 30 billion dollars worth of Bitcoin right now, plus this flourishing hardware business. Of course, they're in software too with full self-driving and stuff like that, but their main product is hardware type things: cars, megapacks, power walls, solar panels. It's physical hardware. So this would have been the great hedge. So you really only have MicroStrategy just strategically using the convertible bond market as a way to generate more Bitcoin. So that's the bond piece. The stock volatility kind of speaks for itself at this point, right? I mean, 10% up or down is like a normal day. We've had some, a couple 20% down days over the past few years. But even though it sucks when any asset goes down, right? I'm not ignorant to that reality, but it literally is the high vol asset, right? MSTR trades around 100 vol. It moves, but it's in that ballpark. If you had a Verizon or Johnson & Johnson trying to sell convertible bonds, it just would not be nearly as attractive for the people buying the convertible bonds, because they're not going to perform nearly as well. So you got that. So you got the bond piece, the stock piece, and then also the options. I could not imagine why any options trader would be looking at any underlying other than MicroStrategy, if to the extent that they understand the catalyst and kind of the cult-like phenomena here. And I know some people tend to think of this stuff as oh, it's a negative, you're in a cult. I've only made money in cults. To me, I see that as a massive, a net positive when you have this immovable retail shareholder base. Plus you have all the catalysts that we talk about, like FASB, the indexes rebalancing higher, no fees to hold the asset. So to summarize that up, the product of MicroStrategy, and I'm not talking about their MicroStrategy 1 and the AI chatbot, but the real product of the stock and what the company has to offer is volatility. And I've never seen someone capture volatility in such a positive way, in such a way that creates this type of shareholder value,